top online course creators doing that really positions their personal brand and helps them attract such amazing tribes and audiences to them. So I know that that's something that a lot of my clients have been wondering about and have been curious about. I was curious too. So I put it out there and I asked, well, who are the top online course creators at the moment? Who's everybody really loving? And I got a list of 30 names. And then I thought, okay, that's a few too many to have a look at. So we narrowed it down and I got a list of the top online course creators and I started looking into them and what makes them stand out versus the others. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. So let's have a look at their secret to really building a standout personal brand. So the first one is Pat Flynn. Or maybe I should say the first secret is actually that they created a personal brand. And that is, it's a no-brainer. We love working with people we know. And these course creators have all done that. They have helped you get to know them as a person. So more than Pat Flynn, when you hear smart passive income, you think Pat Flynn. You don't think about passive income. You think about that guy who used to be an architect, sold a course, and now he helps others create courses and build their businesses online. So why did we get to know Pat Flynn? Well, he's shared insights of who he is along the way. He's helped you get to know him as a person. And because of that, that's why his tribe have really gotten to know and gotten to love him as a person. They said just the other day, they said he's such a great guy. And it's because they know the guy behind the brand. So that's the first secret. The second secret is that they're quite polarizing. So with these personalities, you're either going to love them or you won't. And a beautiful example of this is Ash. Couldn't get that one out. Ash from the Middle Finger Project. Now, for her, she'll drop the occasional F-bomb. Actually, her course is called Unfuckable With. So if you don't like swearing, you're not going to like her at all. But if that doesn't faze you, or if you're not blown by that at all, then you might find you really gravitate to her and her real approach and how she's quite down to earth. And you either love her or you don't. And that's what I'm using her as an example, but a lot of them will, whether it's language or whether it's certain beliefs and thinking, they're going to say quite polarizing statements that will either make you say, yes, I like you, or hell no. And that's what you want to do. Then the third one is that they've really invested in their look and feel. So they understand that we buy based on a brand, we buy based on first impressions, and they're big on making sure that they make the right first impression. And sometimes it's through the logo, sometimes it's through the website, or down to every aspect of the way that you interact with their brand, including using Marie Forleo as an example. When she records, her studio is set up to create a certain atmosphere and feel, including how she gets her hair and makeup done and what clothes she wears, because she wants to create a certain experience for her clients, and many of the others all do the same. So they've really invested in their look and feel. And just to note that, a little note on that is that they didn't just invest once. I've noticed a couple of them have had varying iterations of their brand along the way. As their brand has moved up or moved into a different level or wanting to connect with a different client, they've invested in how that's portrayed through the look and feel. Then they have a very clear, unique selling point and message. So with a lot of these top brands, their message is crystal clear. You know that you're in the right place to get the right kind of help. Donald from StoryBrand is a great example about that. I mean, he's all about messaging, so how could I not put him on the slide that had messaging? But he talks about how you need to create a story for your brand because people really connect with the messaging and the story behind the brand, not just the what you do. Simon Sinek is another example of that. And they also really focus on knowing what makes them unique and different and why people should come to them versus somebody else, because we all talk about how it's a crowded marketplace out there and it's a very big global village. And if you aren't standing out as somebody who's unique and different, then you're not going to attract your tribe. The fifth secret is that they know your pain points and aspirations. So they have spent a lot of time researching you, their ideal client, and what's keeping you up at night. What are the things that are frustrating you that you are struggling with? So they want to really understand where you're at. They also want to understand where you want to go. What are your dreams? What do you aspire to become? Where are you wanting to take your business and your life? So the example I've used over here is around James, who is focused on helping ambitious people create their 7-figure businesses. So he's positioned himself around that aspiration of having a 7-figure business. And he brings his community along. Which brings me to point number 6, is that they're focused on building their community. So they have a tribe of loyal followers, super fans. They've all got different names for their fans and tribes and communities. But the point is they've polarized in a way that's built a group of people, or a place where a group of people belong. And that's what you want to do when you're building your personal brand, is to really create that sense of community so that your tribe know that they've come to a place where they belong. And often I see that community is centered around a bigger message. So taking Jennifer Allwood here, her focus is around Christian businesswomen who need to move past their fear. And that's a really specific community that she has pulled in, and a specific tribe that she is connected with. Then secret number 7 is that they give tons of value. And I've heard this over and over and over and over again. They don't hold back on the gold. They will give you so much value up front for free. And whether you're reading a post, listening to a video, or watching a video, listening to a podcast, whichever place that you're connecting with, they're often dropping gold nuggets. They're often sharing tons of value. And because of that, you really feel like you're getting a sense of what awesomeness they're going to be giving you. And that creates tons of loyal fans. Melissa Griffin was an example that I pulled of that, where I remember initially when she was starting out and building up her platform, and she used to give amazing amounts of value, and her tribe have become loyal followers and fans because of that. So secret number 8 is that they're consistent. None of these people have become overnight successes. Often their overnight successes has been precursed by 2 to 10 years, sometimes 20 years of hard graft. So a lot of them have been consistent in 2 ways. So firstly, they're consistent in terms of how they show up and what their message is and what they're about. So Julie over here is focused on really being consistent around funnels and building funnels and business strategy. And that's her shtick, right? So she's consistent in her message there. But she's also showed up consistently. So you need to keep being top of mind in your followers' eyes. Otherwise, they're going to forget about you. So it's constant showing up and placing yourself in front of your ideal client so that they are reminded of who you are. And last but not least, the 9th secret is that they share their journey. So a lot of them will pull back the curtains and let you know what's happening on the inside of their business. And they share bits of either the journey that was past and what's happened up until this point, or a lot of them pull you on for the ride, and they'll share their journey as they're experiencing it. And Jenna Kutch is an example of somebody who's shared 2 aspects of her journey. So one, from a personal influencer point of view and digital marketer point of view, she's shared her self journey and her journey to self-empowerment and feeling comfortable in her own skin. And you'll often see her in her underwear on her Instagram feed, because she wants women to feel comfortable in who they are. But she'll also share her journey in business, and she'll tell stories about struggles and frustrations and lessons learned along the way. And because of that, when people open up and share some of that behind the scenes insights and lessons and journey, it just helps us, for one, know that we are totally normal, and 2, we all learn from each other. So it's amazing when you get to learn from somebody who's gone there before. So those are the 9 secrets behind building your personal brand and really growing your online community. I wanted to know what secret really stood out for you and which one do you see yourself using? Or were you thinking, maybe I need to include a little bit more of this into my own personal brand?